Good morning, people, or should I say, here we go. It's a done deal. What are you on about, Mick? Well, hang on a second. This is the classical, what we see, the media narrative, the spin, the ex-pundits, the ex-players. We seem to always do that. It's a vicious cycle, what we've seen. We've seen the script before, people. Like, we appoint a new manager, media is kind of bigging him up, starting to build them up, and only starting to throw daggers in the Ruben Amorim's back. The latest, of course, we're going to talk about Garry Neville slamming Ruben Amorim. We're going to also talk about the elephant in the room, the deflection, the spinniers, also trying to throw Amorim under the bus. But read the room, the social media after the loss yesterday's, reporting straight away that Man United are in for Victor Osimhen, and also bigging up the 17-year-old Chito Obi Martin that only got 3 minutes game time. Guys, you know what to do. We don't shy away. We are an alternative media platform. We're not driven by the commercialized things, so we tend to speak our minds and call a spade a spade. But there's one thing you should do: definitely support this channel by hitting that like button, subscribe, and most important thing, guys, check your notification button, because YouTube algorithms sometimes go and change things, so you have to press that notification bell button and set to all settings, guys. Let's go. And as I mentioned, here we go.
And Garnacho!
Has the Premier League ever been more challenging?
Will you be in the dugout at Old Trafford on Sunday? I will be here. Definitely.
Okay, let's go.
And I hope Ruben Amorim will be in the dugout for the remaining of the season. But it seems like the media and the pundits and the ex-players are having a go at him, having a pop. And that kind of like influence status is kind of pissing me off, because you got to also question yourself that is falling for this trap, right? Don't be that Pied Piper. Don't follow the Pied Piper, because it's only going to end in one way. You're going to fall off the cliff, right? Fall off the cliff and breaking your neck. So listen, just use your common sense, because as I said, we've seen this script before. We've seen it all. We won a lot, and we've been here before. But this is rock bottom, people. This is definitely rock bottom. And of course, we're going to talk about Garry Neville, that openly came out and slammed him yesterday, suggesting that he should change and accommodate his playing style just to suit certain narratives of players. Earlier last week, we also got a report by, I think it was Chris Wheeler, to say that he's spoken to some sort of players, a secret players, that are having a conversation that Ruben Amorim should accommodate and change the system so they could suit their style of play. Boo-hoo, baha, boo-hoo, baha. Look, I'm not calling Ruben Amorim, but I'm not saying that yesterday was a great, master plan from Ruben Amorim, losing 1-0 against Spurs away and having 9 kids on the bench, But what I'm getting at is nobody out of Garry Neville or any of these pundits on ESPN, or even, what's his name, that Spurs Scouser reject, Michael Owen, that used to play for us, also coming out to sort of raise his opinion, right? You got to remember one thing, people. These people, as soon as they stop playing football, they are being compromised. They're getting paid decent amount of money from Sky Sports, from publications, and certain YouTube channels also, like, afraid of speaking up because they get sponsors, they get privileged to have, certain ex-journalists or journalists come in and speak on the channels, XYZ, but we don't do this on this channel. We call a spade, right? Enough is enough. Garry Neville, you should basically shut the F up, in my opinion. Why I'm saying so, but look, who are you to sort of sit there like, I used to love him. I used to love him when he used to be a player. But ever since he, became a landlord boss, he's been compromised. He's been paid by the Glazers and the Ineos to toe the line. And so are the most of these pundits. We talk about the infamous Graham Souness, who constantly talking gobshite about Man United. The ESPN also talking about gobshite about Man United. And why? Because as soon as you mention the Manchester United name, it creates a lot of click. And of course, it creates a lot of revenues for them. 100%. So in my opinion, they are compromised. 100%. Now, the question what I have to ask regarding Garry Neville and the ex-players, why you're not speaking about what the really root cause problem is. People above the manager, the above manager has always been the problem. But we don't hear that. Like, the manager is the problem and you should change your playing style. Well, excuse me, Garry Neville, you managed Valencia for 15 games, right? You didn't win one single game and you got into relegation battle. So who are you to speak? Who are you to even voice your opinion just because you're an influencer? And what I'm saying about influencers, then you means that most of the Man United fans that don't have a brain to listen, I'm not calling you idiocracy stupid, but you should think with your own common sense to see, wait a minute, have I seen this script before? Of course you have. So why are you falling for this bullshit, right? Why? That is a big question. Why? But not on this channel. Excuse me. I mean, I might be shadow banned. I might be getting yellow dollar signs for speaking up my mind. But at least I'm a Man United fan. And I care about this club. And I call a spade a spade. Guys, of course, this is MUFC RealistTV. I want to hear from your thoughts and feelings 100% because we're going to play a little bit of clip of what's going on. But most important thing, I want to ask you, like, how do you feel today to be a Man United fan? We hit rock bottom, yeah? We're 15th in the league, and do you blame the manager? And an amazing fact, like, if you're pointing fingers on Amorim to say that his fault, well, that's your choice, yeah? I respect that, right? But ever since Amorim actually left Sporting Lisbon, they appointed the manager, they sacked the manager, they went to play a 4-3-3 system, and they also struggling. They're having a struggling. So in my opinion, this is a teetering problem, 100%, that you inherited a bunch of morons, a bunch of lazy prats that can't play football. It's a simple task. You asking for intensity. But also, you got to look at, yes, Ruben, you need to take a little bit blame for yesterday because, of course, you had nine senior players injured, but you trusted in a player like Casemiro that you threw under the bus as well, that you're not going to get minutes. And will Casemiro do a job? First half, in my opinion, he didn't because Bruno was kind of bubble wrapping him, playing two roles. That means that, we got run over that midfield. But in the second half, what happened, that Ruben Amorim, he discovered that this is not working. So he shifted the position between Bruno and Casemiro. And all of a sudden, we became a better team. In the second half, Man United was not that bad in isolation when you think about it 12 hours later, because we created chances. We missed a lot of opportunities, and we could have easily won this game with 2-1. But the only thing is, it was no clinicality. And the second part is what most United fans are going in, including myself, is you should have played the kids, right? You should have looked at your bench 10, 15 minutes into this game where Spurs were looking like a little bit shaky in the back line, and our players on the pitch needed a substitution. So, yeah, Ruben, you should have. You should have, because most of Man United fans have kind of given up already. The season is over, right? So most of United fans around the world, around social media, was looking at it, scratching their head like, well, the only thing that excites me right now is to see the kids coming up, right? This is arguably the best crop since 1992 coming up, sitting on your bench, right? What would it hurt? But of course, Ruben is protective, like, in the post-match interview, like, they beat the right moment, but he didn't feel it was the right moment. And I applaud him, because one thing is that you don't want to do is throw him into the deep end and get swallowed, right? And that will ruin the psychic and the mentality. Yeah. So, yeah, you can look at it from the two sides of the story. And still, why would you point the fingers on Ruben? Like, it's not his fault. Like, is this Ruben's squad since the summer? Or was it Ineos that actually recruited for Erik ten Hag in the summer, spent 200 million for Erik ten Hag's squad, sacked Erik ten Hag 9 games in? Stupid, like 9 games in, and went and flew straight away to Ruben Amorim and said, take this job, take it or leave it. Ruben Amorim said, like, no, please, can I come in the summer? No, it's now or never. And by the way, if you come now, we will back you in the January window. You will get signings. What happened? He didn't get backed. And now he's being the sacrificial lamb. Now he's being the mouthpiece. You can see that he's been compromised in press conference, because where is Ineos to speak? Where is a spokesperson to speak? In the beginning, we saw a lot of interviews. Sir Jim Ratcliffe was openly talking about what the plan is. But ever since they started doing the cut cost and everything, he's hiding. And Ruben Amorim has to speak and toe the line. Basically, it's to say that there was no value in the market in the January. We have to be careful who we recruit. We need to sell to buy. I mean, we've seen this script before. And Ruben Amorim is absolutely being thrown under the bus here, right? He has been. I want to hear your thoughts and feelings. And good morning to you before we get into the show. Big up to everyone that's tuning in. How do you feel today? Let me dive into the comments. Kilo, how are you doing, my friend? Good morning to you, Kilo. How are you doing, mate? Thomas Vedgenes is also saying, why can't this fan base unite and get the Glazers and Ineos out? I'm ready to do my part and even more. Well, guess what, Thomas? 9th of March, there's a protest, 1958. I've been in touch with them. I'm speaking to them. I am absolutely allowing them as next week to use my platform. 1958 is going to be on my platform promoting this. Enough is enough. And by the way, I might even fly down all the way when I'm sitting, 20 hours flight to participate, to partake in this protest. I'm doing my bit the best I can, but we got to do it the right way. We got to do it the right way. Enough is enough. Early morning in US, Paul, how you doing? Greetings from Texas, USA. Love Texas. Love Texas. Is it Austin where you from? I've been in Austin, by the way. Whoops. Big up, Mick. Big up. Good morning. Alex, big up. Good morning to you. Garry Neville is a disgrace. Garry Neville is a disgrace. He used to constantly go on the Glazers for bad ownerships week after week, but now he says nothing about Ineos or the Glazers. He forgot to say all the Glazers, possibly because he's been close links to them. Well, that's the thing. He's been compromised. He's been glazer-nosed, what Andy Tate, our panelist on the show, said. Like, you know, Andy Tate exposed them. We posted a short video that had 5,000 views, a little bit short, and there's been like over 500 comments and likes. You know what? He has absolutely been exposed because, you know what? He's part of that commission to build, like, you know, the stadium. He's part of the greater Manchester area. He owns basically football, the hotel football, right? And he's been appointed to be profiting a lot, right? He's a landlord boss ever since he quit football. And he's also having this influencer status by Sky Sports. And Sky Sports, of course, it's a publication, right? And what does publication want? They want headlines. And of course, for me, it's always been suspect why, you know, of course, they're paying you salaries. They telling you what to say. Graham Souness is one character. Garry Neville, the constant battle between, you know, here, there, what's his name? I forgot his name, the Scouser. Here, there, yeah, great. You know what I mean? Shit, I forgot his name, but please remind me. So for me, that's always a narrative against Manchester United. And the worst of them all is ESPN Sports, right? They are the worst. Never do they speak anything great about Man United. This is simple a Liverpool Simps channel, right? In my opinion. Alex again says Ineos did not back Amorim in January, have made many good people redundant, but Neville says nothing about it. That says it all. That speaks volume, right? That tells you that he's been compromised, right? I'm so sorry to say, because he's a legend, right? He's a legend. Like, I used to love him as a player, you know? The only one that I kind of respect, guess who? Guess who? Beckham, of course. Beckham is through and through. Like, you know, he's a boss of Miami into Miami. If Beckham takes over, like in a part-time ownership, he will fucking love this club, right? I don't even know if, I don't know. I'm just so tired of these ex-pundits and having the like, you know, the expert opinion and telling people what to do and how to play. And we've seen this before, right? As a matter of fact, let's just go right into what Garry Neville said. Like, let's just a small clip, right? Just a small clip, because this is just a small clip. All right, add this to the stage. Here he is. Nowhere near good enough. What he said yesterday.
Near good enough. He has died in a ditch in respect of when he said very early on, "I'm not going to change my idea." So now he can't.
Why would you?
And that's, I suppose, an issue in some ways, because I do think there were probably, with those 11 players they had out on the pitch there, a better way of probably getting them into a system which would have meant they'd have felt more comfortable. But he can't change that now because of what he said previously. He's really sort of stuck his flag in the ground, and sort of that's the way in which he's going to go down. But the performance levels are nowhere near good enough. and he'll know that. He had a very good team, by the way, at Sporting Lisbon. He had a fantastic team. So he knows what good looks like. He knows where he wants to take Manchester United to. The problem is at this moment in time, it's just not happening at all. Nowhere.
Well, shut the fuck up. What are you talking like? Listen, nowhere near good enough. Like, what about speaking here about the root cause problem, right? You know what? He didn't get back in January. He got 2 signings. Patrick Dogu was playing yesterday. He got 9 injured players. Like, so he had kids on the bench. And he spoke about, yeah, he had 4 successful years at Sporting. And of course, he implemented the 3-4-3 system, of course, and it took him 4 years and instantly got success, right? That's not been taken in consideration, Garry. And you, by the way, Garry Neville, Mr. Valencia yourself, a failed coach. 15 games you got sacked after Valencia. Winning 0 games at Valencia, sitting here talking shit. Absolutely gobshite, right? You almost got Valencia into relegation. Do you feel me, right? Do you feel what's going on here right now? And this, what he's towing absolutely, is to change the system. Stems also back to what Chris Wheeler was posting reportedly in one of the Daily Mail's publication, that he has spoken to certain players within that dressing room that had secret meeting and revealed that Ruben Amorim should change to accommodate them. Really. But what about, listen, what about, does it got to make a difference in the Premier League at the moment? Will it make a difference? 13th, 14th in the league, what, does it make a difference? Hell no. The Premier League is over already, right? The short end of the stick was absolutely Amorim that's been shafted. And now you ex-pundits and media is going after him. We've seen this before. So I said, it's not Ruben Amorim's fault. Yes, sure, he can take a little bit of a blame to say, well, the way you lined up, or what are you supposed to do, right? You look at, you know, nine senior players injured, right? Are you going to expect to start kids from minute 1? No, you're not. You go with what you got, experienced players. You know, it's sink or swim. So in my opinion, shut up, Garry. Shut up. Shut up, ESPN. Shut up all these lies, media publications, only creating stories for you to fall. Because guess what? They're getting Benjamins. They're getting paper. Paper. And we fans are paying for it. We fans are paying for the Ineos mistake. Give us a break, for fuck's sake, to be honest. Guys, Alex again, Amorim cannot change his system. Well, why would he change his system, right? Why would you, right? It's like Ineos, they own Mercedes Formula One. It's like to say, like, okay, we are going for a 6-cylinder, and now you're going to go into a 4-cylinder car and expect you to win. Ain't working that way. Of course, you're not going to race and finish to the finish line. Ruben Amorim needs 6 cylinders to fire in all the cylinders. He needs all the components in his system in order to work. These crop of players is the best thing that happened since Ruben Amorim came in, because guess what? He's assessing, he's calling them out that you are not fit to wear the shirt. And come summer, I beg you, Ineos, please get rid of all of them. We already seen the abolishment of Marcus Rashford, the player power gone. You know, injured players like Luke Shaw is a problem, and the club is protecting and saying unknown. But excuse me, the club came out to say he will be back on Monday. Basically, Luke Shaw is fucked, right? This guy is broken. He can't be fixed. No matter how many spare parts you bring to him, he cannot train. Then we have Mason Mount, another glass man, right? Then you have Victor Lindelof that was sitting on the bench, twice his age of the kids that were sitting there. He's probably going out the club as well. Ericsson out the club. Casemiro out the club. Anthony again scoring another goal, and you know people are calling loan watch. Look what he's doing. Look what he's doing. But excuse me, did he do anything for 2.5 years in the Man United shirt? Why are you now bigging him up, right? Don't be that Stockholm syndrome person, please. Wake up. Wake up. Instead of throwing your toys out of the pram and start sack the manager, sack the manager. That's the populist thing to do. Start using your common sense, please. I'm begging you, right? And join the protest on the 9th of March if you're in the greater Manchester area. Contribute. contribute, because we cannot sack another manager again. We cannot start this process again, the hamster wheel spinning around, round in circles, yeah? Because guess what? They're sitting there, the media department. You spin me round, record, baby, round. That's what they're doing. They're spinning it. Spinning us, guys. And speaking about spinniers, how about this? Read the room. United debut, hooray! A proud moment for 17-year-old Chito Obi. That's all they can come out with. We've seen this before, right? 3 minutes cameo. And they still have to Biggen it up just to sugarcoat certain things. And there's more to it, peeps. There's more to it. It's good morning. I hope you are waking up. I'm hoping I'm not being ranting too much, but I'm just having my double espresso. It's and going to the comments. It's certainly that Amorim discussed his style and tactics with ownerships before, 100%. And guess who sets the and here's the thing, Paul. It is Ineos man that went head over heels to get him, right? The tactical director, Wilcox, he also said this is the style we're going to play. So if you identified him, why didn't you back him, right? Why are you deflecting everything right now? Why are you telling him to toe the line in certain press conferences? Where are you to speak out? Nah, I'm not having it, mate. I'm not having it. Elite, how are you going? The Glazers has done it again. They find a way to keep making money out of the club by getting away, by getting by Ineos, and now Glazeronomics come to play in January. Yeah, 100%. We've seen this before, right? And they have this divide and conquer theory. They've seen this script before, because one thing they are so good at is to turn the fan base against each other. But 1958 has kind of woken up. There will be massive protest against the Arsenal game 9th of March. So yeah, I've spoken to them as well. They're gonna be hosting on my platform, and please do not forget to smash the like button, please. We are a little bit of a shadow ban. Jamie Wayne, what you saying here? Big up. I stayed away, Mick, from anything to do with United. Well, big up, Jamie. You know what? There's a lot of people now switching off, right? They're pissed off a lot of season ticket holders. They're about to walk away. They're not going to support this anymore. But guess what, Jamie? It's like weed. It's like mushrooms. You pick away the weed, new weed would come. That's the thing. You need to put the entitled sanitizer on it, right? Because if you give away your season ticket holder, there will be somebody that will take your season ticket holder. And who is Must? Manchester United Supporter Trust. Who are they? Self-entitled local lads, elite fans sitting there being entitled to be part of speaking to Sir Ineos. Sir Ineos? Sir Ratcliffe. Ooh, but as long as you don't touch us, as long as you don't increase our ticketing price, we're good. You're a pussy's Must. Who are you? Yeah? The only one that I recognize, at least, is 1958. Action speaks louder than words, right? Why can't we just unite as a one time only? There's big, massive communities in India, US, fan clubs, everything. Just unite. Unite for one day and support 1958 on the 9th of March. There's only one thing that we need to get our voices heard. Enough is enough. We know that Ineos is broke. We know that they can't. Why did you take over the club in the first place? It was a vanity project for Sir Jim Ratcliffe, because he envisioned himself to be the savior of Man United, to put himself next to the Trinity statue. That was his vision. Yeah. But at the same time, we saw a video yesterday that he spoke openly about, Ineos, Rob and I, and, we always had a dream to own a Premiership club, an asset. He said an asset in that interview. I'm not kidding you. An asset. So he sees academy players as an asset, as a product, right? So we are becoming, and he spoke about the Brighton model, right? But the thing is, recruiting kids is not going to win you anything. But what it's going to do from an FFP, PSR perspective, generated you a lot of money, right? I'm absolute fed up to the core. Yeah. Idiot, nonsense. Yeah. You're in Dallas. Big up. I'm just catching up what you guys are saying. I love this one, Paul. Glazers ineptios out. Spinius. Sky Sports are a disgrace, 100%. They spend so much time praising the Spurs fan and protesting against their ownership, but to say nothing about Man United ownership and just go on Amorim and systems, yeah, 100%. And the funny part, if you noticed, right, you saw the bench where people are sitting. Did you see sponsoring the bench? It says Ineos. Ineos. Yes, true. Carragher, yeah. There. It's there. Carragher. Absolutely disgrace. David, big up to you. Garry Neville always banging on about Joel Glazer, nothing about Judas. Yeah. Alex, big up Alex Moram. Garry Neville was a legend for Man United player, but that does not mean that his opinions are right and should be respected. Like a lot of ex-players, he chats a lot of rubbish. I agree with what you're saying, mate. And that's what we're calling it out, right? Kev McGee, big up. I've gone right off Neville lately. Sold himself. You can tell a mile off. Yeah, he sold himself. You sold yourself to the devil. Jamie Wayne, big up, one of our moderators. What you're saying here. Good morning, Jamie. Growing up, I respected that Garry. Now I can't. Now you can go F yourself. Yeah, I'm not going to say that because, yeah, there might be some kids up and watching. Yeah, that's what it is. It is what it is. Anyway, so Paul is also agreeing what I'm saying here. Amorim was hired by Ineos because his tactics were successful at Sporting Lisbon. He has proven track record of success as a tactical master. Ineos has track record of failure as a football owners. True. And this is kind of calling it out. On what sporting merits do you have Ineos to run a footballing club? Just look at Nice. Yesterday we had a caller in from France to speak about Nice, and he said they have won nothing. They haven't even been in Champions League, 5 years down. The maximum position they received was 5th in the league, right? You're pretty much looking at optimization. That's what Ineos is, performance management. Ineos, the whole logo is performance management. This is an idea to have the marginal gains to sort of optimization, calls Lean Six Sigma, kind of to trim things down to make it optimized, lean, mean machine. But business and football doesn't really correlate, does it, right? It's what you have on the pitch, right? Sometimes you have to sort of open up the wallet to sort of have a great blend between youth and more seniority players. That's the best blend, right? That is the best blend, in my opinion. Wolves, big up. Yes, 100%. They're paid the narrative, Wolves, 100%. Mighty D, Neville need to chill, 100%. Vanity 7, someone call Sheikh Yassim. Yeah, if you have the number, just please call Sheikh Yassim. I mean, again, we are in a situation where they're now starting to spin this narrative that they are looking to do a Todd Bowley clear way. What is it called? Clearway capital. Todd Bowley by selling off assets, right? Right. What Todd Bowley did was he exploited the whole system by offering 8-year contracts and doing amortization, stalling payments for 8 years. But that's a risky thing as well. But what they also did was selling off hotels and assets, right? We all seen that the overall spin is that we're not going to build a new stadium until 2032 or something, right? So where's the money going to come from, right? If we don't make Europa League, if you don't make Champions League, we're pretty much screwed, because half of this money in terms of the Adidas sponsorship will be halved, right? The Snapdragon also will be halved. So where's the money going to come from? And of course, we've seen Ruben Amorim sitting there speaking, we have to sell to buy. Yeah, wow. So for me, I don't know, man. The only way is to start selling off the land banks, right? But this is what the Glazers sitting hoping of, because that it was the master plan by Garry Neville that was part of this committee, to sort of build on the Glazers land bank, like hotels, shopping mall, exclusive property, which Glazers owns the asset. That means they get service fee. Yeah, this is what they're hanging on. And I think even Mark Goldbridge spoke about it at the United Stand, right? And I applaud Mark. He's been raising his voice lately about the calling Ineos out, right? Big up. He's got the biggest platform. And speaking about Mark, I want to sort of play this clip because I agree what he was saying yesterday. I really did. Because he's calling out, like, fans need to wake up. 100%. Let's go, Goldbridge.
I mean, we've got an aggregator account on Twitter this morning that's apparently had a phone call from Qatar saying Qatar want to buy the football club. Distraction, idiots. They've got most websites and other creators this morning going, Amorim wants Osimhen. And you think, oh my God, do you really support Man United? Or are you actually just a moron? Like, what are you doing? Spending time talking about the validity of Amorim wanting Osimhen the morning after yet another loss when our club is in the fucking sewers and we've just missed out on the January transfer window, and you're talking about some fantasy story for the summer. And you wonder why we are where we are when we've got people in the fan base who want to go, United are after Amorim. Wow, United are after Osimhen. Amorim wants Osimhen. Oh, well, if we had Osimhen up front, we'd be cooking next season. Oh, I think we'd be fighting for the league. So, yeah, Man United want Osimhen. Amorim wants Osimhen. And if we had Osimhen, we'd be cooking, man. We'd be absolutely up for it. We'd be fighting with Liverpool for the league. Yeah. Cover, spin. Get the sawdust out. Cover up the bloods. Everything's fine. Look, if you want change at this football club, stop swallowing the crap.
Yep.
Osimhen in the summer, what's that got to do with the fact that 2 weeks ago, we ignored the transfer window.
100%.
We've now got hardly any players, and we've got 4 months left of the season.
100%.
And we're talking about Osimhen for next season. I mean, this is why we fail. You walk into the traps
100%.
set for you by this ownership that they've been setting for 10 years.
100%. I could have done a bit better. Sometimes I agree and I disagree to Mark, but he's got the biggest influencer status regarding a channel, but what he said here is absolutely spot on. Why are we falling into this trap? This is the Pied Piper, right? You wake up the next morning and you see the spin, United are in for Osimhen, just to forget, right? Just to deflect that what is really going on, right? So I gotta give Mark Goldbridge his roses for doing this, right? For doing this video. But anyway, that is absolutely smashing what he said. But what do you think? Jamie Wayne will join the protest. And Stephanie Griffith, good morning to you. He's not, you would not listen to, players' opinions anymore. Yeah, most of you have checked out, according to Kenny Fan TV. I checked out officially. I ain't gonna go watch games no more. It's your choice, right? I've never checked out because listen, I love Man United. I support the team in thick and thin. Win, lose, draw. I'm always there. I'm never miss a game, right? But what is it to play for? Of course, this Europa League, FA Cup. Do we have a chance? Potentially, it's a cup game. Is the season over? Yes, 100%. I called it out 2 months ago. It is. But what excites me is from now, it starts utilizing and see the youth players, right? See what they're all about, but not like this, what Goldbridge was saying. Oh, like some stupid idiocracy. We get Osimhen in, we start cooking. Yes, we sack this manager, we sack this player, we'll be better. Again, this is the same stupidity, idiocracy, what we've seen for the last 10 years. And big up Goldbridge for saying that, right? And I agree what you're saying. We are worse off now. Just the Glazers, just the Glazer anymore to get rid of. And this is like 1 year. This is what I want to bring also to your attention, right? If Ineos is so masterminded in being like marginal gains and optimization, performance management, marathon running, sport franchises, where's the success? You have Dodgy Dale that was done by doping his cycling team, right? The Grenadiers. You have, they took over the Mercedes Formula One, which absolutely failed, right? You have them sponsoring the All Blacks rugby team, which they are now pulling out from the sponsorship. So everything they touched in a footballing or a sporting merit has failed. And if you look at this year, since they took over, it is the worst in Man United history. Of course, we got relegated once, but in Premier League history, the worst result we ever see. And this is not on Ruben Amorim. This is on you, Ineos. Because guess what? You back Ten Hag. You have Dodger Dale doing the strategic review with his recommendation. You recommended to keep Ten Hag and not go for anyone else. On the secrecy, you went and spoke to many, many different managers, including Garry bloody fucking Southgate, right? And then you decided that you're going to keep Ten Hag. Then you went on a summer spree. You spent 200 million to recruit for Erik Ten Hag in his system. Then you went and chased the skirt out of Dan Ashwood as a sporting director, haggled with Newcastle, paid the compensation fee to Newcastle, got Dan Ashwood in. 2 months later, you sacked Dan Ashwood. 2 months later also, because you sacked Ten Hag as well, costing a lot of money. Then you flew down to convince Ruben Amorim, and here we are, spending about 40 million wasted money. Could have you just waited, right? Could have you just waited to fizz out Erik Ten Hag for this season, then, made a pre-agreement with Ruben Amorim. Ruben, come in this summer, Erik Ten Hag's contract is over. Or should you just kept the interim in Ruud van Nistelrooy and let Ruben Amorim finish off his season? But the proof is in the pudding. This is what we're staring right now, 15th in the league. And the audacity of ex-pundits and media starting to sort of point the fingers on the gaffer. Wake up, man. And the spinsters to come out to say, look, Chito Obi Martin, what a fantastic 17-year-old. Ooh, Osimhen here in the summer window. Listen, no. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Susie, big up Susie. Good to see you, Susie. Take relegation, shame. We can't be worse teams. There's too big gap. Only thing we save us this club right now. Listen, if we get relegated, it's going to be a fun watch. Imagine the fact if City gets done by relegation and we meet each other in the championship. That'd be something. 2 Manchester derbies in the championship. But will then the Glazers sell up? The only thing is what I can think about. The only thing is the most sensible thing is that, hey, Ineos, they can't put money into the club anymore. They've done maximum thing, right? The servicing the debt is ridiculous, right? The only way, and the Glazers not getting any dividends, right? What good is it to increase the ticketing prices? What good is it to sack certain people? Yes, it's necessary measures to cut costs. Otherwise, we are going into the administration. I don't want this club to go to administration. So the only thing that we can do is they board sit down and have a proper eye-to-eye discussion with each other to say, look, this ain't going to work. We ain't going to build the stadium for another 8 to 10 years. So why are we hanging around? We made an agreement to minimum price share. The Class B is $33 per share, right? And Ineos has the first refusal right. So if somebody comes in, Ratcliffe can go in a bit higher or just say, well, minimum is $33. Why don't they go on the market together to have that valuation? Somebody will come in and buy the club for 9 to 10 billion. Whoever that might be, Qatar, I don't give a shit. But if somebody can do that, that'd be great. Because listen, you ain't no billionaire, you ain't no mug investing 1.2 billion. And if you get a return on investment to walk away with 3 billion, you take that money, right? The only reason why the Glazers took that money because they needed a quick loan. They were bankrupt. They were broke. Income surgeon Ratcliffe lowered down his bid from 61% to 27%, gave the money to the Glazers, happy days, but the money never went into the footballing operation. And now we have Ineos arguably running the club, the footballing operation. Well, fuck me. They should have at least told the Glazers to say, listen, here's 1.2 billion, but at least take 400, 500 million, put it back into the footballing operation so we can actually clear the debt. So, are we best in class? Hell no. Are we still a business? Hell yes. Are we looking at assets? Hell yes. Are we looking at the recruitment policy? Hell yeah, we are. They're looking at the youngsters as a products. Like, they are like a Norwegian fishing farm. You plant a little seed and they will grow up to be a big, beautiful salmon. And then we sell the pink meat to the best buyer, right? The Brighton model. But have Brighton ever won and challenging anything? So this is a lucrative business model, right? Pure FFP PSR, local grown, homegrown talent from the academy, sell them off. You look at the under 18s, under 21s, half of the players they're going to sell. Not everyone's going to make it to the full team, first team. Right? Enough of me having my rant. I want to go to the comment section. I don't recognize this football club. Ineos have destroyed it. I don't recognize the team either. I don't recognize this club. But it's the 5 stages of depression. You know, there's the anger, there's the grief, there's this, and I reached to the final step, which is acceptance. This is who we are. You know, and it hurts. It hurts. 100% it does. Garry's a sellout. Aloma is saying Garry's a sellout. He has to join evil agenda against United managers. Now Garry's on the payroll, and it's a shame. And one thing about the payroll, like, you know, Sir Alex, the legend, you know, we haven't won jack shit and he's left, and we've been hijacked by bankers. And if you, Sir Ratcliffe, you said you're a long life Man United fan, you went to the, you know, Champions League final 1999, you said, like, you know, yeah, Sir Alex, you spoke about him and blah, blah, blah. And what did you do? You backstabbed Sir Alex. You took away his ambassador role. You took away his salary, his money. That's penny pinching, right? As a long-time United fan. And at the same time, you bidded for Chelsea. And you're still a Chelsea season ticket holder. And you're sponsoring Tottenham Hotspurs. For me, it's all about business, mate. It's nothing out but a lie, in my opinion. You've been called out, right? Alex, what you're saying here, Alex Marman is saying, if Ineos don't have the money to run this club, they need to sell the club to somebody that can. Maybe a relegation will force Ineos and the Glazers to sell the club. Maybe, just maybe. This if, buts, and maybes. It's this unknown quantity, Alex. But listen, if we can get some form of, you know, let's say that, just play with the hypothesis here, like, you know, who would run the club better, right? Who would? Beckham, right? He goes into a consortium, Beckham, with some Qatari sponsorship, you know, somebody that really loves the club, that understands the club, you know, there'll be something. Cristiano Ronaldo is a rich motherfucker, you know what I mean? He can be part of the consortium as well. I don't know. We just need people that understand the fans, that understand the core foundation of Manchester United. That's it, right? It's not good enough to say, well, we have a sporting vision by the Jubilee, and by 2028 we will challenge and win for the champions, for all the league and the Champions League and all. It's not good enough. The way we are going in this rate, are we going up or are we going down? At the moment, it's going right down to the rock bottom. So I don't believe anymore. I don't believe. Susie, what you're saying, we need debt clearance to be off the New York Stock Exchange. Till them carrying this sinking, treading water. And guess what, Susie, as well, there's banks there that wants the money back, right? There's certain limitation in terms of the credits. Yeah, this is what we're staring at. Like, you can no longer refinance the loan, right? You're taking Maximus, the credit line, Santander banks. We're talking Bank American, everything. They want the money back by 2025, 2026, right? There's a limited amount that you can play with. Then we have to look at the other side of the story as well. Like, you know what was the reason for Glazers accepted Ineos bid? Because they thought that Ineos can do this job to optimize something that they were incapable of doing, right? To turn this around, to trim the fat, to make the, you know, trim the bush to make the yard look bigger, to be manscaped. If you know, you know. And this is pretty much what they are doing. They are janitors. They're being contractors to sort of do the Glazers' dirty deeds, right? Cutting down the costs and everything without even spending one single penny to build a stadium, XYZ. Yeah, I think it's time that either Sir Jim Ratcliffe sits down with the Glazers, with Joel and Avram, to say, guys, you're taking $500 million out of the club. Please put it back in. If you want in future revenues, what you're foreseeing, that they will build a stadium, XYZ, you got to put it back in a bit. You can't just take. You've been taking without putting anything back, right? That's the only way as well. There's a couple of options, right? We're definitely crippled, David, by the debt. We are definitely crippled. Option number 2 is liquidate the assets, what we're saying, like do a Clearwater Poboli project, like, you know, just sell off land banks and assets and put it back into service the debt. There's something that can be done. Neville needs to be away for commenting on United. He can't now in his position. No, go on. Sorry, guys. The musical Duke, big up. I haven't seen you for a long time. The British media need to do one, 100%. Is a fraud. Yeah, like, okay, we have 40 likes. I don't know, what do we do to get the likes up? Can we get the temperature up? Like, let me just check, because I created a poll as well. Let me see where we're at. We have 50 likes at the moment, peeps. There is about 500 of you watching on your lunch break. Please, if it's 500 of you watching, can we get 500 likes? Is it possible? 50 likes, please. It is so simple. If you're on a calorie deficit, you want to lose extra weight, simple, press the like button, please. Do us a favor, support us. Press it right now. Can everyone take 1 minute of your time and press the like button? 1, 2, 3, press the like. 4, 5. Can we go? Oh, it's rising. 6, 7. Press the like. Okay. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Continue. Rise up. All right, it's rising. Thank you. Rising, rising, rising. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, we all well. We all well. Like, listen, this is a therapy community session. Whenever you want to have, come in and hyperventilate, come and visit us. But also tune in later on tonight at Jarvis's Corner, Tactical Corner, the Devilish Tactical Corner. We'll be there speaking furthermore. Of course, there are going to be some brilliant guests. Hopefully, we will have Andy Tate on as well, the thing is with Premier League is also it's probably the best league in the world. Did you foresee Nottingham Forest and Bournemouth to sit right up there? Did you? Because clubs do receive good money from revenue sharing from TVs as well. But in my opinion, for us to sit 15th, it's a disgrace, and I cannot accept that, because we are used to having standards, but at the same time, what they're trying to do is lower down the standards for us fans to sort of accept this bullshit, to say, well, yeah, it's okay, yeah. But what Goldbridge said there, fans, do not walk into the ownership trap. Do not. A lot of you guys coming in, beautiful people that's tuning in. I can see you all in the VR room. David Neese is saying, and Neville has wasted interest in the renovation of Old Trafford and surrounding area. That's what I've been saying, man. That's what we've been saying. He's been compromised. He's a business owner, in my opinion. And you guys are seeing it as well. The Osimhen rumours, according to what Alex is saying, the Osimhen rumours are just a desperate attempt to distract Man United fans from the problems at the club and on the pitch. I'm not falling for that tactics. I see through the rubbish. And that's the purpose of the whole stream. Don't walk into that trap. And I couldn't done it better than what actually Goldbridge said this morning. I know that Goldbridge been getting a lot of shit lately. Sometimes I don't agree to what he said, but lately he's been drumming that Glazers out, Ineos out, and he's been speaking some facts. And in fact, the Goldbridge has the biggest community, 2 million subscribers. I beg you, Mark, if you want to be part of the protest 1958, join us, and don't show that you're being compromised by these sponsorship deals. Talk is talk, but do the walk, Mark. Welcome to my channel anytime to have a chat as well, but I doubt you will. Again, I really want to play what he said, because I thought that it was great.
I mean, we've got an aggregator account on Twitter this morning that's apparently had a phone call from Qatar saying Qatar want to buy the football club. Distraction, idiots. You've got most websites and other creators this morning going, Amorim wants Osimhen. And you think, oh my God, do you really support Man United? Or are you actually just a moron? What are you doing? Spending time talking about the validity of Amorim wanting Osimhen the morning after yet another loss, when our club is in the fucking sewers and we've just missed out on the January transfer window, and you're talking about some fantasy story for the summer. And you wonder You wonder why we are where we are when we've got people in the fan base who want to go, United are after Amorim. Wow, United are after Osimhen. Amorim wants Osimhen. Oh, well, if we had Osimhen up front, we'd be cooking next season. Oh, I think we'd be fighting for the league. So, yeah, Man United want Osimhen. Amorim wants Osimhen. And if we had Osimhen, we'd be cooking, man. We'd be absolutely up for it. We'd be fighting with...
Yeah, but you know what? Mark, you talk a good talk, mate. You know what I mean? But would you join us for the protest? Would you join us 1958 for the protest? Would you be compromising your sponsorship deal and everything? Is one thing is talking the talk, and you talk a good talk, mate, you know? But I want to see you joining the protest 100%, and only then you will have my full respect. But what you said here was absolutely perfect. You nailed it, right? We nailed it. You got to support 1958 in the protest and just ignore Must, because Must are just self-entitled local elite fans sitting there self-entitled. The only organization that is doing something for the fans, global fan base, is 1958. You got to hit him hard. Yeah, you got to hit him hard. Guys, I really want to thank you all for this morning, for listening in. As per usual, leave your comments in the online comments. The more comments you put, the more YouTube algorithm will recognize this as a good content, right? And also one thing, again, I will react to a video like, thank you for all the support, because we've been noticed that we've been shadow bans and our content don't get notified and pushed out to most of the Man United fans. We have 40,000 subscribers, 40,400 subscribers, and hardly getting 1,000 views. And this is YouTube kind of blocking it, right? Blocking it. And this is us for utilizing freedom of speech and speaking our minds. But guess what? The only thing that you can check is to check your notification. You know that bell button, right? Check it, and just check that YouTube. A lot of you made a comment that you had all notifications on, but when you checked it, YouTube had sort of changed it to none. Cheeky bastards. So go do me a favor. Go do it that favor. Check your notification button, and if it says a none, put it to all, please. I beg you. I beg you. Anyway, big up for all of you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. There's only one thing you can do, as well, say Glazers out, Bankers out, Ineos out, green and gold until we're sold. We are back on track, baby. Let's do this. Do not forget to like and subscribe, but most important thing, switch that notification button all to all. It's been Mick Ruby from Mufc RealistTV, having my morning say, and hopefully I made more sense of your day. God bless. See us in the next time.
Thank you so much for stopping by and watching MUFC RealistTV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.